Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to another game. I don't know which number this game will have. Now, let me explain what's going on. This is a recording, as you can probably notice by the play button, of my first group phase game from a tournament organized by civfanatics.ru, the Russian Civ Fanatics forum. You can find a link to the page with the tournament thread in the link in the description. As well, there's going to be the link to the actual brackets later on. Now let me explain the tournament. What are the rules? Well, basically firstly, there's a group phase. In the group there's 4 people, and 2 first places advance to a championship style tournament. I guess that's the right call. Double elimination style, I guess. So the first 2 persons in the group advance, and then there's a game until 1 win, and if you win then you advance, and if you lose you drop to the loser bracket, then you play a game there, and if you win you advance, and so on and so forth. Basically the rules are pretty well. Basically there's no rules, alright. There's no rules except one rule about stealing workers. If you steal a worker, you need to be at war with the city-state for 10 turns. That's first thing. Now, the settings: Pangea, dual size, standard city-states, so 4 city-states, quick speed, ancient era start, simultaneous turns, shift clicks allowed, no ancient ruins, and basically every other setting is random. So world age is random, terrain is random, temperature is random, and so on and so forth, except resources. There's strategic balance. So basically what that means, you definitely will have at least 1 horse and 1 iron in your capital. Except of that, everything is basically random. So yeah, those are the settings that are, well, you definitely need to have a little bit of luck in those settings that you will actually see in the games that I played and I have to show you. Now, what else about the civilizations? There was a list. Well, basically you have a choice from every single civilization, but firstly there's some civilization bound for a round of the tournament, and they change every round basically. So there's, I think, 7 banned from the organizers. Then basically the host of the game bans, I think in the first round there was 6 civs or 7 civs, 6. Then the opponent bans 6, then 4, 4, 4, 4, and then the host chooses first. Basically, at the end of the banning phase, you have 7 civilizations to choose from. So basically, host picks 1 civ, and then the opponent picks 1 civ from what's left, basically. So, in this first match in the group phase, yeah. One more information. Yes, I'm going to spoil this, but if you check the forum thread and the bracket thread, you will already notice that I dropped out from the tournament. I played 9 games and I lost 3. And I dropped from the loser bracket. If I would win, basically I was missing 1, 2, 3 wins to the finals. So I think with those settings it's basically not bad. But yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. This is definitely settings that I'm not used to play with. So yeah, I'm just gonna answer to Don. Be right back. Okay, and I'm back. So I'm not used to those settings. Russian players definitely have absolutely a different style of playing. And yeah, I had to learn a lot. I had to learn a lot. Now the question, you're probably wondering, why are you posting this after dropping out of the tournament? Well, the answer is simple. I played the first game. This game, I was not able to do the commentary, and as usual I want to post games chronologically. So after the first game, then I made a commentary on the second game, and I was definitely disappointed with my performance in the second game. Because, well, basically I was making a commentary while I was playing, and my performance was not satisfactory. Alright? Satisfaction, so you know the other word that I wanted to say while I was making commentary. So I decided to not comment on the next games. Basically, I decided to not comment on those games because I wanted to be 100% focused on the game and just add the commentary later on. So I was just waiting after I will drop out of the tournament to actually make the commentary and post the games. So let's get started with this game. What I want to say, well, most of those players are Russian-speaking players. I think every single player is Russian-speaking player, and I had absolutely no idea what to expect. I played before this tournament with only one Russian player, Turn the Slayer, and what I noticed is that really like tradition openers. They like tradition openers, which means they basically make a scout or a warrior. Sometimes a warrior, depends on city states, because there's city states in here. If you make a warrior, you can basically ask for tribute right away, so a warrior opening is actually not bad. Excuse me, why did I move to the spices? Well, that's pretty simple. There's nothing in here. I don't want to move to the hill because I want to have the coast, and I want to have I will not have to improve the spices right away, and I will have 2 hills right in my capital, so this will yield me quite nice production later on. So this is basically why I moved, and I could get a sugar even in the 3rd ring. But let me just finish up about the description of Russian playstyle. So basically what they do is they grow to pop 3, sometimes even to pop 2. And they make like a warrior, warrior, or a scout, worker, different combinations of that. Some of them even make some monuments at some point, but almost every single time they make a scout, make a worker, and make something else. So that definitely differs from the playstyle I'm used to, which European and basically US players prefer on skirmish maps, which is just go monument first, then like a scout, worker, or a combination of that depending on the land. First of all, probably because there's city-states on this map, so you can, with extra army strength, you can demand tributes from city-states. You can steal workers, so you basically don't need that worker that fast if you really want to. There's barbarians, so extra army is really helpful. A lot of things that actually prefer, well, there's a lot of advantages for a tradition opener in this setup, because when you go population 3, your first settler is still you know, like faster than usual liberty opener. And on Pangea there's not too much luxuries, not too much space to expand sometimes, so there was this really different playstyle that I have to use to. Now in this game you can see that I already scouted into right direction. I wanted to go animal husbandry because I have absolutely I'm not on a hill, and I don't have any granary resources, so basically usual granary would be a waste, and I still wanted to have at least a little bit of extra hammers. Yeah, like horses, I miss the horses basically in the 2nd ring, so I'm working like 2 food and a hill. Not the greatest opening in here, but what's pretty important is that he's really very close. He's really very close, which is sort of beneficial for me, I would say. Sort of beneficial for me, and yeah, let's just leave it at this and let's see what's going to happen. Now I know he's not on the coast, and I just want to scout his capital very quickly. Now you see this Pangea. There's not too much space to expand, really. If you really want to expand, there's not too much space. What I'm thinking right now is to actually control the map. So he will not expand towards me. You can see he's like on population 2 already, and was like thinking, okay, I think he could start making a settler right away with population 2. That kind of sounds reasonable. Yeah, and of course chariots, all the way in chariots. Well, basically with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, our capitals are 7 tiles in between each other. What that means war, right? That means war from the start. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to control the middle, so he will not be able to expand towards me. But what I was thinking in this game is like there's not too much room that he can actually expand safely towards me. If I'm gonna block like those forests, he will have a very hard time to come with settlers to my side. Basically, where could you plant the city? I mean, like, yeah, I hope you will not mind, but I can actually show what I'm talking about, right? Where could he plant cities? Somewhere in here. That's a very poorly defendable spot, right? It's a very poorly defendable spot coming from his side. I was originally thinking about planting a city in here on this hill. That would make for a very, very cool blocker city that I can block basically everything that's in front. So that sounds pretty reasonable. Okay, I got a second scout, and I'm working on the granary. Why am I working on the granary? That's interesting. Well, yeah, I do have 1 granary resources, but it's not that great. That's probably not that great. Yay, city-state. Now this is the problem. I'm gonna talk a lot about the settings of this map. Basically, Pangea, it's such a random map, and there's basically no rules. So if you have like El Dorado on the map, or you have Fountain of Youth, you still are going to play, right? And in the tournament, I mean, like come on, you're gonna get El Dorado, and the opponent is like, yeah, in here, yeah, right, Fountain of Youth. So first game, and I already see Fountain of Youth. I'm like, yeah, it's in a city-state, but still, if I could manage to settle that, I will have easily 6 extra happiness for a second city. So the city will basically not cost me anything, and that's huge. That's extra 10 happiness. I'm like, come on, that's extra 8 happiness. That's 10 happiness. That's huge. And for example, the city-states. You can see that those city-states are basically on my side. There's another city-state in here. So basically the placement of city-states is definitely not balanced. And in a duel, that's huge. Gold is so huge. Without gold, if you don't have access to city-states and you don't have access to trade routes giving you gold, you're basically, with a normal approach, liberty and a lot of cities, you will have so much hard time with gold that you can fall behind in science so quickly. And this is why this is another advantage that they do have with tradition openers, because they are able to compensate the gold with monarchy, right? So they get extra gold with their huge capital. So basically Russians really like well, players that I encountered in this tournament, they really like tradition openers. They really like to go tradition 3-4 cities and then just grow them and go all out crazy with army or science or basically anything. They don't want to get extra cities. That's good and bad. Basically, that's good if you actually have the land to expand, if you go liberty. But if you do not have land to expand, if you do not have access to city-states, then Liberty really falls behind really quickly. If you are not able to pressure the opponent, you will slowly fall behind in science and gold. And if you miss the timing with crossbows and knights, then you're done for it. Basically, that's my generally summary of this tournament. And with those different approaches, since I'm really used to Liberty, I think I played every single game in here Liberty style. And basically, after the tournament, this is my general summary and opinion about those two tactics this way. Tradition is great if the opponent don't have access to land, luxuries, city-states, wonders. If the map is not balanced, and like city-states are on tradition side, or like wonders are on the tradition player sides, he will just slaughter Liberty player, most probably. Liberty will have a very hard time if they will miss the crossbow knight's timing, basically. Okay, but let's focus on the game. So I'm happily scouting with my warrior here. I do have the Fountain of Youth, so I'm pretty happy with that. What else? There's not too much space to expand, but to be honest, I can fit easily around 3 or 4 cities in here, so that's pretty much cool. I like the opener and I like the land, and I'm definitely focusing here on just going straight out army and just flooding him with military before he will get the tradition advantage, basically. I was thinking that I will go pop 3, but I see already that I'm just waiting for the free settler. Now that's pretty risky, as I said. Most of the times tradition players go population 3 settler, and that settler is much faster than the free Liberty settler. What that means is that if you will not control the land that you want to settle on, then the tradition player can actually block you. Yeah, that sounds strange this time, but basically tradition player can still block you. So this is why I have archers. I definitely wanted to block this middle part of the map so he will not plant a frontal city on me, because this frontal city could slow me down quite a bit. But as you can probably notice in here, I already have like archers, 2 scouts. I do have a granary, a monument in my capital. I don't have a worker, that's true. Now he probably has a worker, he has this warrior and probably 2 scouts, and he's making a settler right now, so he's definitely not growing his capital. This should allow me basically to control the map before my free settler will arrive now. So this is a quite good opening for me, at least this time. Yeah, and I do have the hammer advantage, which is pretty strange actually. Only 5 hammers? Why is he having only 5 hammers producing a settler, by the way? If he's really hammering the settler, then he's working like what? 3 from the... That's strange. That's really strange. Maybe he's working gold. He should have much more than 5 hammers. That's really strange. Now I'm thinking here, where could I plant the city? Well, I could plant on the snow and get Old Faithful. Not Old Faithful, Fountain of Youth. And it'll be actually pretty nice. Yeah, my hammers in my capital are definitely not good either. But... doesn't matter that much. At least I have better hammers than him, so that's good. That's really good. Yeah, I'm definitely going for the hill that I mentioned earlier. Now I don't remember every single game that I'm going to commentate on, so I'm sorry if I'll not give you, the usual feedback that I do give you while I play, but I'll try to focus just on the gameplay. Yes, with a little bit of spoilers, that's true, but just on the gameplay. Yeah, so my blocker city basically arrived, and that's great. If I will manage to plant this city, basically all this middle land is mine to control. I shouldn't have any problems controlling with this land, and I can basically pressure him right away on his capital. He will not have any frontal city. You know, like, the importance of frontal cities is really huge, because if your capital is a frontal city, you are definitely threatened by citadel bombs, right? So if you lose land and you are going on a citadel war, you're fighting for your life, basically. You're fighting for your capital. If you have a frontal city, you can always decide to retreat, right? Or just lose the city and retake it. I mean, like, I did this multiple times and that works great. If you have a huge citadel war, sometimes it's just better to deal damage to a lot of units while he is focusing on a city. This way you can basically retake the city with the citadel. If he plants a citadel on your city, you can basically, instead of trying to use your general to retake that citadel and, you know, like, go on a citadel war, you should be basically happy, right? You should say, like, yay, he lost his general, now I will let him take the city and I will retake it. So I will not lose a general and he will lose a general, and when I retake the city, I will try to focus on killing as much army as possible and then just pushing my advantage with the general on top of his really important cities. So that's a really great strategy, something that is underrated a lot. Something that's really underrated, and it's really great. So sometimes it's just better to lose a frontal city and retake it, and you cannot do that with the capital, right? Now my hammer advantage is already twice his hammers. It's really a lot. It's really a lot in early stages of the game. What I'm thinking is probably I'm gonna plant the city in here on the Isons. I would bet that I'm gonna do just that. Yeah, getting free experience, yay! Alright, so I moved back this time, fine. Getting some extra promotion, that's really great. Now I should probably move the scout back and try to escort. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna move back and escort my settler with a scout. This scout should heal, and yeah, I probably am thinking about settling the Fountain of Youth right now, just to get it on the snow. That will yield me 6 extra happiness right away. So that's really a lot of happiness. I already have planned on spices. I'm thinking about planning on the Isons, most probably. Yeah, as you can see, he's already on tradition 2, which means he definitely went tradition. I think he has 2 cities right now. So this is a map, basically, that favors my playstyle that I'm used to, Liberty. A lot of cities. I do have city-states on my side. 3 city-states are on my side. So if I ever will want to make a caravan, I will definitely have an option to get a lot of gold, extra gold, and I will deny the quest and a lot of stuff to my opponent, basically. So this is a really good map for me this time, and this is what I'm talking about, basically. If you have a good map, then Liberty is really great, but if your map is basically denies you the ability to plant cities, so for example, if you have space for only 3 cities and you don't have access to city-states, suddenly Liberty is bad. Basically Liberty is bad. Like, tradition opener is so much more universal, I would say, because even if you have space for 2 cities, you still can get a lot of population, a lot of hammers, and a lot of good stuff. Something that you are just not able to do with Liberties that fast. So, alright, but let's focus on the game. So my settler is definitely going scouting. Yay! My settler is definitely going for Fountain of Youth, just to get that extra happiness quickly. And I'm definitely trying to just get military. Yeah, I'm just trying to get military tactics and just spam units. My hammer advantage kind of says that, yeah, I'm in a very good spot to start applying pressure, but what I need is composites. I mean, like archers, you can't really attack a city with archers. You would need a really huge advantage to attack a city with archers and make pressure with archers. It's just better to wait a little bit, just wait a little bit and attack with composites. It's so much easier. Oh, retreat the archer. Run away, Yoruus. Run away, man. Yeah, workers. I really need workers. Now the very good thing about the tradition opener is that extra worker. That worker, getting that worker quickly is so nice. It's really nice. Now I'm thinking, go for Old Faithful or just go for Old Faithful, come on, Fountain of Youth, or go for the Icens first, but I decided to just go for the Fountain of Youth. The point is, I don't want that wonder. It's kind of rage, right? City-states will expand eventually, and I don't want it to go to a city-state. Now somebody's writing to me, excuse me for a second. Thank you, Dan. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the invite, but I want to do this right now. Yeah, 13, double hammer advantage right now. Double hammer advantage, so basically if I'm just gonna go army, mathematically I have advantage, basically. Mathematically I have an advantage, and that's basically the point, right? If you kill more than the enemy produces, you win. And hammers definitely are great. Well, basically I explained it probably several times, but I will explain one more time. Basically, if you have an advantage in hammers, you can, if you kill the same amount of units, you can basically trade units and eventually you will win. That's the power of hammer advantage, right? That's the power of hammer advantage. If you have the same hammers, you need to kill more, right? Then you lose. Then, well, you need to kill more units than enemy, right? Then you win. But if you have a hammer advantage, you have a comfortable situation of fighting. You can sacrifice units as long as you will make a kill for every single unit that you will lose. That's the power of hammer advantage, basically. Alright, hello there, Ice and City. As you can see, I'm still balancing at 2 happiness. This is thanks to me settling on the spices, right now settling on the Icens. This is basically what you do with a Liberty opener a lot of times. You basically settle on the luxuries if you can, of course, if those spaces are plausible. First of all, luxury spots are not always a good tile to work on. And if you settle a city, on it, you basically have the gold already from the luxuries, and of course it's improved right away, so you don't need that extra workers right away. And I'm actually going for pyramids. I guess I'm feeling quite confident in this game. Thanks to that hammer advantage, Fountain of Youth, having 4 cities already and another settler on the way. I think I'm feeling just pretty much confident in this game, and I'm like feeling okay, I can easily make some wonders in my capital. Like, I have access to a lot of land, I have access to the happiness, extra happiness from Fountain of Youth most probably, if Sofia will not get it next turn. So I can allow myself to building a wonder, and basically pyramids is a really great wonder. You want those workers anyway, right? And in a situation when the opponent is actually going tradition, there's no rush, right, to build pyramids. Instead of 2 workers, you can just build pyramids, and you will just make the same, right? And you will have the extra bonus to improvements, and that's just great. Okay, hello, that Fountain of Youth, yeah, excellent. Plus 7 happiness, that's extra city, and still I can grow my city. So Fountain of Youth is definitely such a huge advantage for someone that actually has it. That's like awesomeness, pure awesomeness. What will I make? A granary? What? Why am I making a granary? That's strange. No, 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 don't kill him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this will make me go faster to my city spot. I think it's going to be on the hill. I think it's going to be on the grassland hill. Then I will still be able to plant a city on the sheep later on. Extra hammers, yay! This city will be so nice later on. Caravan could be useful. Yeah, double hammer advantage. So basically, as Arkansas is, this game is not looking good for him right now, especially with that extra happiness that I have from Fountain of Youth. It's really huge. I'm gonna tell it so many times in this game, because I'm like, sometimes you just cannot win with the map, right? Whatever you will do, you can play the best you can, but you just cannot win with the map. Especially, this is why most of the duels that I posted on my channel are, except those played against in the Polish league, right? They are played on Pangea as well, but most of the games with the best players I know are played on skirmish plains map. And there's several wonders that are banned, like Great Wall, Terracotta Army, Gold from Religion is banned, a lot of that stuff. That's really huge things that they are banned for a reason, you know. And I think my games that I will show you from this tournament kinda picture that the reasons for pictures the reasons for those rules very good. Yeah, the pictures are very good, because most of the time, I mean, like, there's such a huge amount of lag that you need to actually have a good map on the Pangea, on those settings. It's just so important. But let's not spoil anything else. As you can see, I'm just in an eco mode. I'm making more monuments, granary, the standard Liberty opener. You want monuments, because you're missing the opener from tradition, so your borders do not expand faster. That's a really huge deal with tradition, the opener from tradition, that faster border spread is really huge. That's a lot of extra speed. I'm thinking I'm just waiting with the plant. Am I waiting with the plant? I think I'm waiting for the plant so I can... No, I'm not waiting for the plant, right. I was probably worried right now that I will actually lose the warrior, and I wanted to retake the worker, but I will retake it anyway with the scout most probably, so this is not a huge deal. Now let me get back to the general strategy. When you are going Liberty, there's two buildings that you really want to have. Monuments, granary. Monuments because you want your borders to expand faster, and you still want to settle in a space that you get luxuries quickly, you get resources quickly, or you get hills quickly, because most of the time borders just don't go for hills. I don't know why, but they just don't go for hills. They will take plains, snow. I'm like, snow, come on, snow. Hill is better from snow, right? I'm like, come on, developers, do something about it. So you want to settle your cities to maximize production, so you want to have hills in the first ring, especially you don't have gold, because you will never have a chance to actually buy those hills. Those little things are really important. So you want monuments, and you want granary. Why do you want granary? Because if you settle in the production zone, if you have a granary, you can work, for example, if you have the wheat, in your city and you have a granary, you can work easily 3 hills. So you have the food to support a 4 population city, and you can work 3 hills. And that's a great city, right? If you settle on a hill, you have a wheat, and you have 3 hills in range. Ah, that's a lovely city spot. That's a lot of production in that city. That's 1 from Liberty, 1 from city, 1 from hill, that's 3, 1 from the wheat, that's 4, and plus 9, right? That's 13 production from 4 pop city. And that's a dream for a Liberty player, having a city like that. That's really a dream. This is why you want a granary. Then in further succession you want colosseums, you want markets, and then maybe like libraries, workshops most of the time. Most of the time if you go Liberty you don't even make libraries, especially if you spam a lot of cities, because you cannot support them with gold, right? Especially if your land is absolutely goldless, let's say it like that. For example, this land is pretty good with gold. There's a lot of unique luxuries that give you gold, so that's pretty nice overall. Chariot archers? Yeah, it will not even make monuments, I think, in that city. So now I'm slowly switching into military production, because I know I have the advantage. Hammer advantage, so I can easily start to make some pressure. He didn't plant any frontal city. I think he has only 1 extra city right now. I do have a huge hammer advantage, so I can allow myself to build some buildings and some eco stuff, but I do want to start pressurizing him very, very quickly. Caravan, don't tell me you're gonna send food. Yeah, check out city-states, probably. Copenhagen. Yeah, everybody wants a trade route. This is what I'm talking about. I'm like, if you have the access to city-states, you have a huge advantage. You have gold, you can make quests, you get the bonuses. Pangea, you're so not balanced. You're really not a balanced map for duels. So basically, yeah, and I do have a double hammer advantage. Basically, a lot in this tournament is so dependent. It's so dependent on the land. All right, I will finish this part in here. So thank you very much for watching, and I invite you to watch the second part of this game. So see you in a second. Best wishes, Yoruus.